What is going on, my super hunters? Rhymestyle here, and today we're discussing chapter 350 of Hunter x Hunter. And oh my gosh, I never pictured myself sitting down in front of my camera and talking about this next chapter of Hunter x Hunter. But hey, I believed, you guys believed, and here we are, we're doing it. We're talking about this next chapter. So this morning, chapter 350 of Hunter x Hunter leaked and has taken us a little bit more into this next arc, this next story I should say, because there's gonna be a lot to this arc. And well, it's gonna be a lot that's gonna happen. The last 10 chapters, all is done since the anime, and I guess the part where the anime slash manga kind of ended and then started back up, has done nothing but set up this next story, and there's going to be many things happening all at once. We got the Zodiac internal struggle with the whole trader thing. We have, first of all, what's going to happen going in Killua from what happened. I mean, you guys remember what happened with Gon after the last arc. What's going to happen with his Nen. We have the whole Kurapika still hunt down the Scarlet Eyes, and this next chapter we're going to be discussing actually primarily is around Kurapika, because he got a new lead to get a bunch of eyes, but it's not going to be that easy, because his next set of eyes that he's going to get belongs to a prince who is getting ready to embark on a journey to the new continent, which is not to be confused with the Dark Continent. They're kind of different. They're in the same direction, but not the Dark Continent. Dark Continent is not the new continent, if that makes sense. Picture this way. Here's the border for Dark Continent. So if you go that way, that's the Dark Continent. The new continent is like right there from what I saw in the previous chapter. So it's kind of like on the border of going into unknown territory. And this prince is getting ready to go into the new continent because essentially they're trying to, I guess, colonize it from what I saw, from what I kind of understood. Colonize it and make it their own. And it's going to consist of 14 princess, plural, dudes and males. Whether it's male or female, they count them as a prince. And essentially what's going to happen is this is going to be a death show. Whoever survives the journey is going to be the king of the new continent. Well, like I said, one of the princes, the fourth prince, I forgot his name, it's like some long name. He has a bunch of eyes. And of course, you guys know, Kurapika is obsessed with those eyes. He wants those eyes back. So like, look at those, look at that anger, look at that determination in his face. He wants those eyes back. So what he's going to do is, he's going to figure out a way to infiltrate his way in, talk to the guy, preferably before the ship leaves, and get his eyes back, hopefully without much struggle. But obviously, I feel like it's not going to be that easy. Now, the only lead he has is 2 leads. He knows that there's currently a job listing for 6 bodyguards for these princes. And from these 6 bodyguards, it's in the lower half of the ranking. The top rank of the 14, the first 8, all seem to have high-class elite warriors and soldiers that they hired to protect them, whereas the bottom ones only have enough probably compensation and money to hire like a pro hunter or something. In this situation, Kurapika found 6 listings, and he put together his own squad of hunters to simultaneously investigate all 6. And this squad consists of some pretty cool people. We have obviously Basho and Melody, who are from the Noshrat family. You guys remember from the previous chapters or the previous arcs. We have Hanzo, who's back from the exam arc. Remember the guy who broke Gon's arm, the bald guy, the ninja? He's back, so it's cool to see Togashi is bringing back new characters, or old characters. We have Bisuke, which was cool because I really like the character and I want to see her come back. And it's cool to see that Togashi brought her back as well per Killua's request from the looks of it. And it's funny also, they have a little quick flashback of how Killua's like, hey, make sure you talk to her this way, otherwise you're going to butt heads. I personally didn't want to talk to her like that because it's kind of gross, but if you want to, just baby her and she'll have a different conversation with you, in which case that happens in the arc, in a chapter. And it's cool to see that she actually changes and becomes all like girly and stuff the second that, what's his face, Kurapika talks to her in a delicate way. Then finally we have Izunami. Now Izunami is an interesting one for several reasons. Number one, Izunami is going to be a new name for a lot of you guys. You're probably wondering who the hell is Izunami. If you read a chapter, you recognize the face, but you probably don't recognize the name. And that's because Togashi never named him before. Apparently, the first time Izunami showed up, who is basically the guy who taught Kurapika Nen, that guy from way back in the day, just got named. Apparently, Togashi never gave him a name in the past, and when he appeared in the anime, they gave him the name of Mizuken, something like that. I hope I said that right. So this is the first time he got named. Now, I personally didn't even know this. The only reason why I knew that he was named for the first time in this chapter was because I was reading a forum, because I was trying to kind of make sense of everything that's been going on recently. And apparently they all said that Izunami was the first time he was mentioned in the manga. So it's kind of cool to see Togashi actually remembering stuff and introducing old but new material. So currently, like I said, all 6 of these guys are going to infiltrate these princes and try to get as close as possible to a 4th prince so Kurapika can get basically his eyes back. So essentially he hired them so they can be hired by them, and he can get closer, like close enough to touch. He wants to touch the 4th prince and talk to him, essentially. Now here's the funny part. This is where the story gets really interesting. So in the process of Kurapika trying to figure out which one of these 6 princes is possibly the closest to the 4th prince, he himself gets tricked because the person that he ends up getting in contact with turns out was looking for somebody that was looking for Harkenberg, who is close to the fourth prince. Now, from what I understood, the reason why Kurapika was looking for Harkenberg, who was one of the princes, is because he's close to the fourth prince. But I might be wrong. If I'm wrong with that, just correct me in the comment section below, because that's something that was kind of confusing to me. Well, in the process of him talking to the prince that he ended up connecting with, who is the 14th prince, it ends up being a baby and a woman. And she tells him essentially, the only way I could figure out somebody that's worth protecting us was someone who was looking for Harkenberg, which turns out to be you, Kurapika. I need you to basically make sure I don't die in the ship to the new continent. And it's kind of screwed up because the 14th prince is a baby. It's a girl. It's a baby girl and her mother. So she can't defend herself, whereas the other princes are kind of older and more mature, and if they want to, they can probably kill if it comes down to it. But the 14th prince is a baby, and essentially Kurapika gets kind of tricked into meeting with her so she can offer him a job to protect her 10 times of what he was going to get paid originally. Now, it's funny because all Kurapika, and this is why I love Kurapika's character, he's so smart and just has this crazy reasoning. Kurapika only had the information of knowing how much money was offered, the compensation. And based on that, he was able to figure out which one was most likely to be Harkenberg, which ended up not being Harkenberg, but still he found out someone was close to Harkenberg, and that's how he ended up meeting the 14th prince. And of course, he's probably going to take the job. I mean, I don't know if they... At the end of the chapter, he said he was going to do it. No, yeah, he did. He did say. He said he was going to protect the baby as well as the mother on his journey over there. But obviously, in the same process, he's also going to try to figure out how to get closer to the fourth prince and get his eyes. So I love seeing Kurapika's character. And I know after the York New arc with a lot of you guys, this guy became your favorite character just because of how much of a badass he is. Now, the question is, and of course, if you have any questions as well, what you think is going to happen in this arc, just drop it below. Not a question for me, just a question you have in general. What is Kurapika going to do in terms of his powers? Because we know that most of his nen is limited to only being used against the Phantom Troop. Now, he has a couple of moves, like being able to use the Chain of Judgment, which you don't necessarily have to use against a troop. We know that's his power. We also have the ability to tell lies, which he can do as well. But what else can he do that he can't do to others because of the restrictions with the troop? That's a question that I have. Second question I have is where do Gon and Killua fit in this? Because obviously, in the previous chapters leading up to this point, they set it up so where we know that Jing essentially wants to go to the new continent, which is why he's basically smuggling himself in, because he wants to explore, because that's who he is as a person. Pariston, I don't really know much of Pariston's what he wants yet, because he's always been very mysterious, and he obviously wants something, but he's in the situation too. And of course, we have the whole Zodiac betrayal thing with Seiyu. So, Seiyu, is it Seiyu or Seiyu? Seiyu, the monkey guy. Apparently, he is a traitor. He's a spy for some reason, for somebody, and there's basically a lot of stuff going on. And the only question I have is where do Gon and Killua fit in this? Unless it's going to be because Gon finds out that Jing went to the Dark Continent and he wants to follow him. I have no idea, but that's the question. Where will Gon and Killua fit in this? Because obviously you can't not include them, but at the same time we did get a whole arc that was basically based around Kurapika when they had York New, even though we had Gon and Killua in there as well. So that's the only question. Excuse me, that's the only question I have right now. So what question are your heads? Comment below, and I guess, and anything else that I missed, feel free to discuss below as well. But for now, we are back with, well, we're back with the weekly series, but it's gonna be the first time on my channel where I will do the reviews every single week when they have a new chapter come out on Thursdays, and we'll discuss what's going on in the new Hunter x Hunter Dark Continent arc. And man, what a time it is to be alive! So I'm excited. I'm very excited. A lot of talking, like I said, a lot of details, still not much action, but again, that's what I kind of expect to happen just because the first 10 chapters in this arc were all about setting up the next part of the story. And also, I freaking love Jing's power. I gotta say, he's freaking awesome. Like, I had to reread everything this morning, and I forgot that that's what he actually was able to do. How he was able to basically reproduce all of Leorio's abilities, just awesome. Just off of being punched. He is very, very impressive. So it's cool to see that get revealed in the previous chapters as well, and I'm curious to know what else he can do. Like, Jing is a very interesting character, and I want to see what else they're going to come out with him as they get further into the Dark Continent. The other question I have is what's going to happen to Gon? Because you guys remember, he had this whole ordeal with his Nen in the whole Chimera Ant arc, and when he came back to life, what is going to happen with him? That's the next question. On top of that, will we get any crazy action with Killua of equivalent to what we saw with Gon happen in the Chimera Ant arc? That's something else I want to know as well. So, a lot of questions. Like the way Togashi ended his series originally, well, didn't end up, but went on hiatus. He left it so there's going to be so much questions open and so many possibilities of direction you can take the story. On top of the mysterious Dark Continent of how crazy it's going to get, I'm excited. And hopefully, if it's in that the Chimera Ant arc was, this next arc will be incredible. So, the field is in your hands, Togashi. Let's see what you got for us. So yeah, Anyways, before my voice dies out, because I literally took me like 4 tries to record this video, let me know your thoughts, anything else we missed on chapter 350, any predictions or questions you have that we obviously can't answer in the comment section below. Of course, if you're hyped for the return of Hunter x Hunter, make sure you leave a like right below as well. And other than that, I guess I will see you guys in the comment section below so we can discuss what's going to happen. I want to get some water because my voice is really dying really badly, and I can't breathe. So we'll get some water and come back, sit down, and we'll discuss this chapter. But other than that, I guess I will see you guys in the comment section below. Peace.